Hello, hello. Myself together. What am I going to talk about? Hey, how you doing? So it's Georgette coming to you from no other than Raise Yourself Life Empowerment Coaching, from desperation to inspiration. All right, so I just came from the gym maybe 30 minutes ago. Had a great workout with my dad, training him, trying to get him to take better care of himself. So what's the topic for today? Relationships. Do you want a relationship? I mean, waiting for or opening up for that special relationship. I had a conversation with my girlfriend earlier today, and we were talking about, I was telling her about my dating and how, there may be someone that there may be someone, we'll leave it at that. And how meeting different men, each has their story or whatever. We'll keep that at that. When someone says, I'm sort of in a relationship, what does that mean exactly? Sort of. Do you sort of breathe? That's like saying I'm sort of married. I'm sort of a woman. I'm sort of my complexion. I don't know. My hair is sort of short. No, short. You are married. It's either yes or no, basically. So that was interesting. So I asked him, I was like, well, how many years were you sort of together? And he says 12. That's funny. So, my point to her was she mentioned that she feels that men are dogs and that there's too much drama and she doesn't want to go through that drama, and she wants someone that she can really give her all to, and she doesn't believe that she can give her all to that man because he may not fully show up, in other words, in the relationship. But I told her, and this is the way I do it, I know he's there. Like I said, there is possibly someone that I'm opening my heart up to now. And we're in the midst of exploring the possibilities. See, to me, I'm always in a relationship at one point or another, because I know innately within myself that that's what I desire. And I know that I will attract, and I always do, a good guy who loves me and I him. And that's because my mindset, I begin with that in mind. So I was just expressing to her that, change that mindset. Everything is mindset. Everything. Change the mindset and say that I will attract a handsome man, whatever you want, that will give you that attention, that will give you that love, that won't play games, whatever it is you desire. But you have to be able to determine what it is you truly desire and be courageous enough to know that you are worthy. Because think of this is something that I always think about. I only need one guy. One. And in this whole world, you're saying there's not one that can fulfill my desires, my dreams? It doesn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense metaphysically, any kind of way, logically, mentally. It just doesn't make sense to think that there's no one for me, or all men are this way, dogs, or all men are whatever. I only need one. And within that one, I am creating that vision, in other words, of the type of man I desire. And I put it like this. He's already there. He is already there. I have to align with the idea in my mind that he is there. So then, that way I can see him. I can see him when he shows up. Because, sometimes we miss people, just as sometimes we miss opportunities, because we're not able to clearly define and align within ourselves what truly exists for us. So you just have to really have faith, believe to the point of knowing that he is there. I don't care how many dates I go on. I just say I'm getting closer to him. I'm getting closer to him. I know he's there. He's not saying that these guys aren't good or nice. But see, the interesting thing about that is people are going to show you sort of what you expect at times. What you expect, like if you don't think you're worthy and you're not going to get a good guy, then guess what? You're not going to get it. So you have to sort of anticipate, have that full, healthy expectation within yourself that the universe will deliver to me that which I desire. All it takes on your part is to maintain and believe it, and you will see it. Not attempt to see it and then believe it, but believe it and then you will see it. But don't even think about being patient, because it's like if you're being patient, isn't that sort of like you're waiting for something to happen and it didn't happen yet? But in actuality, there's no need to be patient because it's happening now. The energy is flowing now. You put the wish into the universe, that desire, that dream. It's already out there. So all you have to do is align with it. It's already done. As it said, ask and it is given. It is already done. How fabulous is that? So that's why, when I meet different guys and, for instance, say one, and this happened, he wanted to take me out. So I like to prepare. So I'm like, well, okay. So we're going out Friday. This was on a Thursday. We're going out the following day. Let me know at least where we're going to meet, where we're going, because I want to know how to dress. I like to get done up. He didn't know where we were going. He did not know what time. And that's what he really just put it in one little sentence. I don't know yet. Now, I do believe in being spontaneous, but this is our first date. He could have said something in planning like, well, we're going to meet about 6 o'clock and, we may go to this restaurant or that restaurant or wherever we're going. But he had nothing. Nothing. So you have to be able to discern, use your intuition to say, if this guy has not planned, he doesn't know yet, how excited is he about the date? He asked me out on a date. How excited is he about the date? He may not be. Or he's a poor planner, which shows a side of his character that, hey, would I like to be with, somebody like this that has no idea about any of the questions that I'm asking him? Long story short, the Friday, he didn't call. He didn't say anything. Mind you, this guy's like, I really want to take you out. Right? Now, in reference to that energy that I was putting out there when I met him, I wasn't really interested because I have my preferences, which we all do. And so I was like, well, he seems nice. He has a nice smile. He seems all right. I'll go out with him. So I was sort of hesitant and took his number. And that was it was interesting to just acknowledge that I wasn't really feeling him anyway. So look at how he reacted. He probably knew it, within his energy. Maybe didn't believe that I was actually going to show up. I don't know. But the moral of this story is you must be clear on your energy and what you want. So long story short, then this morning he sent me a text and he just says, hey, Hey? What does that mean? Just hey dot dot dot. What is that? You just met me. Do you get what I'm saying? So these little things, I didn't respond because I'm at the stage of the game where, I mean, I'm much older, so I need someone who's direct, who knows what he wants and clear and aligned, not hey and I don't know. Mm-mm. Anyway, so I mean, we meet interesting guys. Another guy I met maybe 2 weeks ago. We were talking, great conversation on the phone one night for 3 hours. I stayed on the phone for 3 hours. That's hard to keep me there for 3 hours. But it was a very interesting conversation about life and metaphysics and all that, and different conspiracy theories and politics, a pinch of politics, and it was really interesting. And then the following day we talked more, and the following more, and then he wanted to, take me out. But long story short, found out he was in a relationship, and then he's like, well, I want to meet up with you and meet you for dinner. And then he says, wear something tight. I'm like, wear something tight? He said, yeah, so I can see all your curves. See, he met me when I was actually at the supermarket. And, I had gym clothes, so you can see, the figure. But what threw me off about that is we just met. It's a first date. Wear something tight. It just threw me off because I'm like, wear something tight? I'm almost 50 years old. Not that because I'm 50 I can't wear something, well, I'll put it like this. I can wear something classy that fits nicely, but the word tight, it was just painful in my head. When I was younger, I used to wear tight stuff because, when you're younger, you want to show off certain things. But when you get older, it's like, I'm not wearing all this tight stuff and being uncomfortable. I can wear something that fits very nice and that's comfy. And now if it's my man and he says wear something tight, I don't mind because, that's what we do. But, cut. Anyway, I say all this to say, I'm quite sure you have your stories too. I say this to say that each time that I interacted with the guy and I attracted a certain type, and what I did was always looked at me, because everything emanates from you. The energy that you're putting out there, that's from you. So when you put that energy out there, you're going to attract, right? What's a reflection of you? So I looked at that. I'm like, well, during that time, that day, it could have been that day, that week, what was I thinking? I'll say this honestly, that I was checking out my body and I'm like, oh, it looks good in this way and that way. I was feeling sexy. You know how you feel sexy sometimes, or most of the time. And I saw him looking at me at the supermarket. It's so funny. So, you know how you put on a little extra, when you're walking, just bam, bam, bam. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. Okay. So that's what I attracted, someone who was just like after the body. And then how you meet somebody, you're not even dressed up, no makeup, you're just simple, simply put together, and you attract somebody and you're like, wow. And you think in your mind, boy, I was a mess, I was looking a mess. And usually when it's like that, most of the time you meet guys who are really sincere and really interested in you. They see something more than the outer you, because they just look beyond it. You can have on a big t-shirt and sweatpants, but they see something more in talking with you. Your hair may just not be done, or you know what I mean. And like a girlfriend of mine, she met a lovely guy, wonderful guy, and she says that her words, she said, I looked like a bum. But the thing is, the beauty is there. Do you get it? We all of us, all women to me have beauty. I don't care what the media says, what your friends or family or other people say. To me, all women have we just have a unique beauty about us individually. And when she attracted him, she wasn't expecting it, but in her heart was pure, and she really wants someone who can really see her for who she is. And guess what? It's going on, 2 weeks or so? And she says they've seen each other just about every day. It's a little more. It's going on 3 weeks. They've seen each other every day, probably except for 3 days out of 3 weeks. And communicate with each other within that time by phone or, calls face to face. And it was just a beautiful connection. So with all that being said, it's not so much of wearing something tight or overexposing yourself or trying so hard. Just be who you are and know what you desire in your heart. Whatever you desire in your heart and it's true for you, I don't care what you look like that day. It's not what's out here, it's what's in here that's going to attract the man that you truly desire. Because within your soul, if you know that you desire a man who truly loves you, who calls you, who shows up, who's on time, who takes you out, who comes to see you, you go to see him, you know where he lives, he knows where you live, you're connecting, through spirit, in mind, and physically, that everything is balanced. That is so beautiful. It doesn't even matter, where you meet him. You know when you go out, you want to look really cute. Okay, physically, it's the first attraction, or first attractor. You wear something and you may get, say, 40-30% of the guys that are within the vicinity. You may get their attention. But you always have to keep, you must always keep in mind the type of attention you want. If you know that the attention you desire is from your heart and from your soul, focus on that. And guess what? All of this would not matter. It's amazing. Well, ultimately, all of this does not matter, period. Because, again, going back to the law of attraction, if it's in your heart and you're pure and it's a strong emanation of what you desire, you will attract that. So, in the end, just get clear. Don't lose faith. Know what you desire. Write it down. Put it on a vision board. Pray about it. That's it. Just know what it is you want. Know that it's possible and know that you're worthy of having that special man. I know mine is either, like I said, he's here. I may not see him yet, or maybe I do, because it could be someone that I know, but I have a feeling who it is. I really do. He knows who he is. And if he's watching this, he knows who he is too. So I'll say to him, I love you. And I know you love me. And it's all good. So keep the faith and see you soon. Bye-bye.